Hello, Sydney to Sunday? Sunday to? Saturday. Saturday. And I'm here on behalf of Black Knight Presents, talking to Leroy McCoy, who I met straight out of remand from HMP Hull, thank God, and introduced me to a concept called Excon to Icon, which was something he devised. But that's not what this post's about. He came up with the ideal for the Heel Festival. Very community minded. Is a Jamaican immigrant. Well, how old were you when you got here, Leroy?
I came here when I was 13.
13 years old. A poet, a bit of a philosopher, and is a Rasta, would you say?
I wouldn't say a Rasta. I think I understand the teaching of the Nazarene, to which Rasta express in their own way.
Yeah.
And, it's esoteric Christianity, basically.
Yeah, most of it is.
That's what it is, yeah.
So, that, I mean, obviously I'd say I'm a non-practicing atheist myself. I don't believe in much, but I like people. I'm very interested in them. And their ideas as well. Because as someone who grew up in a house with religious parents, my dad Catholic and my mum Church of England, it was crazy. So I kind of turned my back on it all, and science, for me. I've got brothers and sisters that went down that route and then turned their back on it later and so on. But that's certainly, there are older religions. But that's not what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about, you said something to me a while ago about getting kids from the cities out to the country so they can reconnect with nature. And then yesterday I saw a post from a black farmer saying that he thinks that it's time that more black people were farming. And that's caused a bit of a hoo-ha because the right-wing press are presenting it as, they want to replace us. One of the arguments I saw against it was, imagine if I was in Nigeria and they said we need more white farmers. Obviously I think it's been taken out of context, but my instant response was, hang on, more black people? Isn't it just the best person for the job that should do the job?
No, I think I would like to put some contents to this because sometime back during early lockdown, there was a gentleman called the Black Farmer. He's from Devon. I think he's originally from Basleet. And so he's got quite a lot going right now. He's got shops in Brixton and also in different parts of London. But moreover, he was interviewed on LBC, one of the radio stations.
LBC is a good station.
LBC. And what he says, like, the Windrush generation, we got duped. And what he meant by that is, like, when we came here, obviously the ignorance, call it racism, what you want, was so high, accommodation was limited. So it's just by having rooms like in Bristol, in London, and Birmingham, to where those generation got settled, and the generation after, going up to 5 generations now, more or less have not expanded. Now, for me that was interesting because I came here like fairly early Windrush, middle sector, first generation, and I came here, but what was good for me was I was also involved in the reserve, like the army. So
can I just ask you a question, because you mentioned something like the middle generation, something, right?
Yeah.
When did the Windrush start?
Well, the Windrush started from like late 50s, I think.
53, I thought it was.
53, because my granddad, he came over here by the RAF. That's for most Jamaicans, really.
And then you came.
And then I came in 67 because
year I was born.
Like I'm explaining to you, what happened was, is wherever you could find a dwelling or someone you with me, because back in the days, getting updates from my grandmother before she passed on, she was one of like the foundation for a lot of people coming from my place, Dumfries in Jamaica. You with me?
Yeah.
So there would be like a house, and they would take.
Oh, so this is why when I used to go to Oxford as a kid,
Yeah.
the black family at the top of the street would seem to have loads in their house because it would be the
Yeah,
extended
because
family.
it's wherever you used to like rent a bed space.
Yeah.
And during that early stage, just after the war, like the industrial England was down, so you get a lot of black people from Asian as well that came here that was working in the foundry, and doing railway, all different type of work. But the point I'm trying.
Oh, that's it, because the railway was always, the conductors were always blacks.
Yeah. So the time I'm trying to explain to you now, for me now, right, I come here in 67, 68, 69, I started to join up with the TA. So on weekends we would go to different places in Wales, you with me, and then.
Well, I grew up there, I'm with you.
And I can honestly say to you, right, it's like that was for me an opportunity to experience what English was in raw states, you with me. And what I find was there was hardly any black people around in the vicinity. So sometimes you meet people from Wales and
Oh, God,
and there was lots of conflict. I remember there's a place up in Merthyr Tydfil. We went there and then we went to the cinema.
Rough there. Rough.
It was in the cinema, and then what happened? It was quite a few of us, like, because after a while I was the first to join up the light infantry, and then it was about 20 of us as black guys, so we had like the black platoon. So anyway, for me then, what was we was in the cinema, we got confronted by skinhead. And trust me, we had a whole Jamaican thing about us. We break some bottles and cut some bombs.
The hardest thing about that is being confronted by people with a funny accent.
Yeah, so
I try not to
no,
laugh.
we did little shit. Anyway, I'm just showing you some of the experience.
Yeah, I know.
Well, overall, to put some proper kind of answer to your question is, in the early 70s when that generation started to kind of, expand a bit more, and obviously some of us became rebellious because energy was coming from America, like with Black Power movement. So a lot of youths decided I wasn't going to work for the Babylon system, so we go shoplifting in different places. Yeah. Now, from then, I realized that, listen, we was contained. It's like they had electric fence around us, right? Because you could commit crime within your vicinity and get a light spanking. But the minute you go beyond that, right, you get a big sentence.
Right.
Therefore, if you wanted to shoplift, it's all right doing it in Rockham's or wherever in Birmingham, one of them big places. But go to Solihull or Sutton Coldfield, which is the affluent area, we would get really spanking.
You've shifted tribes.
No, I'm going to show you what's happening. And then also, if you go to the countryside, the racism was so severe, no one entered there, and also at the seafront. So therefore, 5 generations down, you do not get black guy having interest in like water skiing or sailing because it was not accessible. So this is one of my, as I said to you, I will introduce you later on to this podcast to my partner down in Devon, Professor, who's a sailor, ex-Marine. And it's for this reason why I engage with him, because these are the things that which will start from.
So that's the Professor of Innovation at Bristol University.
Yes.
I've met him. You took me down to see the hotel now.
Now, also, when it comes to like the farming sector now, right, it's not something to which we was encouraging, because even right now, I can assure you, if you drive 10, 15 miles out of any city into the country place, and we stand up there as a black man, every car pass is going to be, whoop, because it's not accustomed.
I took you to see that chap, Roy, and
So again, these are 2 areas if you want perfect equality, because you cannot know more so we are immigrants. The 5th generation here, you with me? In fact, my great-granddaughter is white, you with me? So we have to kind of review our social policy.
We have to review what Britishness means.
Yes. And also, it's somewhat unfair for us because in that stage, we tend to, that Windrush generation, we blend with the church, same language, everything, straight in the air, the same culture, the minister, the music, everything to which we blend with. So we did not build independent type of resource center like other communities.
Your own culture. Yeah.
We shared. You with me?
Yeah, you integrated.
We integrated.
Yeah.
You know, in a very obvious way, because now you have an average young people with black Caribbean father and white European mothers, and this span all across Europe.
Funnier than that, you have young people with white parents both talking with Jamaican accents now.
Yeah, well, it's not just that. I think what has happened, in essence, things are what they are, because you see, initially the street culture was dominated by mainly Jamaican Caribbean. You with me? And still is. So we don't have that physical present now, but the philosophy, the language, the culture, the Turkish,
I can tell
Ukrainian.
you what it was. I can honestly tell you what it was that
Yeah.
introduced Jamaicans to the Brits on a big scale, and that was football.
Yeah.
It was when Jamaica started playing in the World Cup and we were getting those live satellite TVs and all the characters. Same with Cameroon when the African teams got in. They played with such passion. When they lost, they'd sit on the ball, they'd sulk, and it's like there's none of that in Western football. You know, in European football, we're like machines.
No, I think as soon as you went there, I tell you where it went, and today is one of the things to which I forever say to people that what I see of the English culture is sense of humor.
Yeah.
And I think for people like Charlie Williams up in Yorkshire and Lenny
Oh
Henry.
my God, yeah.
These are the people to whom break that barrier down.
To be honest, I didn't like Lenny Henry very much. I find him a little bit tedious, but I understand he was the acceptable face of black comedy on kids' TV.
No, and so I'm going to go back to something now, because these two things to which is so kind of prominent in our life today is like religion and also racism, because all of it is ignorance.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that we lack proper knowledge of what it is to be like what religion. In fact, the word religion means to rejoin. Yeah. So, in some case, why you find individual who will resent is maybe they don't like that procedure, because what rejoin meaning, you have to kind of find a routine or some harmony to which you can feel at one with yourself. You with me? So you might come from like a Christian background or a Buddhist or a Muslim, or whichever way, it's the stream to which you can get back to the riverhead, like all stream lead to the ocean. The next thing is, right, I spent some time in prison in Germany, and at the time, Germany was renowned to be racist. But when I got there, I find there was more kind of a hoping than, mostly the English people. However, in the prison to which I was in Düsseldorf, there was one particular guy from Munster, and we had like coffee, drinking, because like Germany sometimes they would allow you to go to different cells.
Yeah.
And I was sitting there drinking coffee, and this guy was looking at me, was smoking some bong.
Smoking a bomb in prison?
Fucking right, man. Anyway.
Things have changed.
No, but being Jamaican, listen, because at the time.
Part of your religion, you
got so I was highly respected.
That was real. I thought that was rumours when I was.
No, what it was, these guys in every prison there's the hierarchy.
Oh yeah, the prisoners run it, don't they?
No, so I fit into a certain clique, which was.
I know what you're saying, yeah.
So while I was there, the guy looked at me and he said, "Listen, I can't understand." I said, "Why?" He said, "I'm supposed to be a racist, but I like you so much, man. I want to shake." And we talk, and he said, "What do you mean by a racist?" He said, "How much black people?" He said, "No, he's never seen anyone so close up like I am. Who can speak his language, same lifestyle."
Perception versus reality.
So it's what I'm showing you. So sometimes I do understand when you get like some of these people who complain about immigrants is because people don't
Can I chip in there?
That's what they think basically.
I've also got a friend from West Gorton, which is where they filmed Shameless, right?
Yeah.
And a work colleague, and he used to say the most awful things about the Pakistani customers, like terrible. We used to giggle at it, it was so racist. But when he met them, he was lovely, and he did the jobs and nothing, and he always rang them up to check they got. He wasn't really racist. He was using racist language because he'd grown up in a school seeing whenever there was a fight, it was the white kid. The teachers became so terrified of punishing a black or Asian kid because of the backlash, because of all the racist stuff, that the football team was black or Asian, and there was the white kids weren't getting a look in. Now, from my point of view, I was moved to Anglesey, Wales, as an English kid, aged 6. There was no black people there at all. My mum was racist, so until the first Asian kid, Pakistani, named Lawrence, they used to call him Lawrence P. Lawrence P, right? And it was his nickname. And he used to wear a parka with National Front on it. And he was just like, it was just Lawrence. You know what I mean? It's so funny. You're racist until you meet one.
It's true. Well, there's so much story of grandma and granddad come on TV. I used to be a racist, but I got granddaughter or my nieces, with me off cast. And so things change. Anyway, there's something I want to get back to because the farming thing it's something to which I've got a very strong passion.
Yeah.
And currently, and this is also, right now, it's an appeal. I'm trying to appeal out there to sympathetic souls who understand the disaster that went on in Jamaica. Because there's a place to which I'm from, I call it Jollywood. It's going to be the last cultural village.
Can I just say that?
Yeah, it's
Jollywood.
All the vegetation more or less been destroyed. So what I think we need now, right, and also because of the stigma behind farming, the young generation in Jamaica is not showing no interest in it. And that's where I think the wealth can be done. So it will be good to create a kind of an exchange, and in fact I propose that in next year we'll probably like to merge the Black Awards with exchange conference and also the festival, to do all three. I do want to say this, it's important, so I get you get my vision. My vision is to take young people from here and people with skills to Jamaica to kind of encourage them or teach them how to take farming at the next level. And the one is biodynamic, to which I've got that connection for, but also in marketing, for example, I'm looking at now, see if we could get some of those motorbike pickup, like what I see they have in Thailand and different places. Quads, because these can go into the tropical village and place like that. And it's not such a great cost upon people. So we encourage people, you could go bananas, sugar cane, but we need transport to take it from A to B. These are like good fishing rod that I think...
That's the analogy, the fishing rod. Don't give him a fish, give him a fishing rod.
Yeah, the fishing rod. And also to show them how they can preserve things, and etc. And I think, like everything else, I'm still this Jollywood, so someone like you
There's two things I need to ask you about that.
What's
The
that?
first is, explain what Jollywood is, because I didn't know. I thought it was a place. It is, but the reason it exists is because when you were a kid, your nickname was...
No, not my nickname, my pet name.
Your pet name.
My mother used to bounce me up and down like that when just holding my hands up. And she said, what a jolly little boy. And then she called me Jolly Macky little boy, you with me?
Jolly.
And it fits, so the village I was really highly loved, and I think that's what gives me my confidence to be a community now. Yeah. I was kind of, in my early days, I was like very fragile, you with me? But the whole community support me and heal me. Yeah. And as a result, I can say this to a lot of people now, right? Sometimes you'll be amazed how leaders become, because it's a lot of people. This is why they karma make it that they have to become a leader, because they have to give this energy back to the community. So me now, being as a community elder, not just that, I do quite a few things in the community, merging community together. It's my payback. Yeah.
I read a great book called Broken Connections.
Yeah.
right? It was about a guy who from the age of 14, he'd been on antidepressants, and he couldn't work out why, what was wrong. So he started travelling, and he discovered it was community. He found places where there's no such thing as depression. They don't even know what he's on about. They don't take any tablets, they don't drink alcohol. They just live together and look after. Now, when we were kids on Anglesey during the last great recession, which was actually a depression, 84, I left school. Me and my dad queued up for the dole, and people would turn up at the house with bags of meat, and he'd go around and fix their cars, and we'd share lifts. And we weren't happy, but we got through it. It did seem, looking back, like a happy time now. We were all united in our hatred of Margaret Thatcher, which helped. But I also want to ask, Black Awards. You mentioned the Black Awards. I want to point out it doesn't mean black. It's BLAC. So I think this is important for the listener.
Right.
Sorry?
It's explained itself there.
Well, I'd like you to say, in your words, the Black Award Certificate of Appreciation. This certificate is presented with heartfelt admiration to Leroy McCoy for a life of service, his head's getting big now, steadfast dedication and an enduring commitment to others. Through your dedication to others and your guidance, you have sown seeds of hope and resilience that will bear fruits for generations. Your actions have shown us true greatness is found only in achievement. Is not only in achievement, but in kindness, integrity and love. Your legacy will continue to live as an inspiration to all those who have been blessed by your presence. Presented with deep respect and gratitude on the 17th of October 2025 by, it's a community award. Who's that signature?
Imani. I want to add something to it apart from the fact that I just asked for some tissue.
He shit stinks though.
It did kind of shook me up because I didn't expect it. It was a surprise. However, I think it was one that well deserved. And I did say when I went on the stage, I thought it was invisible. Now, sometimes I have to be frank to you, we do need, especially right now. I've just heard some comment coming from Donald Trump and different people. And this is what brings me back to the fact that there's a lot of us, Windrush generation, we've contributed so much to community, but we were casual. We haven't got ownership of it. You with me? And therefore, people come from different sectors, come in, climb on the ladder, not knowing how things really got, structured and who built it. Now, there's something I must emphasize on because just yesterday, a sister of mine from Scotland sent me a quote from Rudolf Steiner regarding if one does not use their hands, it's not just the head that cognition arrives from. It's by using the hands and different parts of your being that create cognition later. So it says one of the main things that we should focus on is like farming. You with me? And if you know, the Ruskin Mills, they have some project with young
Ruskin
people.
Mills?
Ruskin Mills.
Oh.
What they do is they have young people to work with straw, with metal.
Yeah.
And for me,
Crafting.
because I did not have academic education, but what happened? Our schooling that involved a lot of work with metal, woodwork. And
making shanks.
Yes, I'm like, not even
joking. I'm joking.
Man, listen to me. I was quite with technical drawing, and from that, even when I leave school at 15,
Me too.
I made a shed at the back of my mom's house. Everything neat, cutting joints, original. Because I learned this from school.
We made aeroplanes.
You know what I mean?
So as a kid, we made aeroplanes. Yeah.
That's why. Because right now the young people growing up, they're gonna be stupid. They're senseless. Because
it's all in here. It's all in the phone. So they think that they've achieved something by building a model aeroplane on a phone.
No, using your hands, like even to cook.
Yeah.
Because things have reached the way it is now, right? Because when you leave here, I'm gonna make some dumpling, wild dumpling. I'm gonna peel yam, peel banana. It's all skill.
It's a process, yeah.
And it's a process, and then so practical things to which I'm looking forward to do once we can establish these meetings is engaging young people into using their hands into different, not just with cooking, but like pottery, you're with me, stone masonry, all different types.
Repurposing. So buying old junk, picking stuff up from junk shops, sanding it down and...
Yes. And you must also visualize that everything that done by human rhythm, that energy, that movement, that flow, it still hovers in the air and the elements.
Yeah.
It's not like machine. So things which is like furniture, which is made out of like just carving, brings a lot more energy than processing something through like...
So I grew up on Anglesey, obviously they make love spoons there, don't they?
Yeah.
The Llandwyn was the patron saint of love. And that's brilliant because they carve like a little ball in a cage and all that kind of stuff. That has always fascinated me. In woodwork I used to love making sharks and touch toys and stuff like that. And then I never really thought that applied, but then as I got older I ended up refurbing houses.